Hey YouTube, it's Bill Robertson, and I just want to talk about a movie that's coming up on October 6th that I'm really concerned with. Blade Runner 2049. I've been a Blade Runner fan, I don't know, for a long time, at least since the early 90s. I grew up in the 80s with Blade Runner being played on WVIA. It was a channel out in New York City that we got here in Pennsylvania, and it regularly played Blade Runner in the afternoons and evenings. And slowly, as a kid, I would watch it, and my cousin loved it. Other people talked about it. I slowly became a fan. Flash forward to me being an adult, and I watched the movie because it was out on VHS and DVD. I watched it, I loved it, didn't know why I loved it, still not real sure why I love it, other than visually it's a cool looking film. Soundtrack, the visuals pretty much make the movie great. Why? I don't know. But the movie led me to the author of the book that the movie was based on, Philip K. Dick. Now, I have this book. It is a copy, a paperback copy of the movie adaptation. It's not by the original author, but it's the movie adaptation with a bunch of color photos from the film, and it isn't the book. The movie isn't the book. The movie is based on a book by Philip K. Dick called "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" Philip K. Dick is probably the greatest sci-fi writer ever. Arguably, there's others, Arthur C. Clarke, Isaac Asimov, several others. But as far as greatness and the true scope of science fiction goes, Philip K. Dick pretty much embodies the spirit of what sci-fi is about. Dreaming what the future is and making a story about it so we can all see what might be coming in our near future. I collect Philip K. Dick's sci-fi paperbacks. I'm always looking for the old books that he's done in paperback. So if any of you know where to find some of his old paperbacks from the 60s and 70s, let me know because I want them. Philip K. Dick wrote Blade Runner, and by Blade Runner I mean Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? He wrote it, when did he write that? In the late 60s? The early 70s? I think it was the late 60s he wrote it. And it was basically about machines designed by humans who became self-aware and realized that they had a short lifespan and revolted against that idea. And the movie Blade Runner pretty much accurately represents that, but it deviates from the novel quite a bit. If you really want to know what Philip K. Dick is about, you got to read his exegesis. The exegesis of Philip K. Dick is, I don't know, it's 1,000 pages of holy mackerel, what's this guy talking about? But you got to be a big Philip K. Dick fan to tackle that Herculean task. Anyway, his vision of sci-fi is a lot greater than, say, Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan, but Star Wars is pretty basic. Philip K. Dick's vision of Star Wars was big, and somehow When Ridley Scott made the first Blade Runner, which was released back in 81 or 82, somehow Ridley Scott captured the spirit of that book and Philip K. Dick's ideals and put it on screen for all of us to see. And a lot of us don't really know what it was we saw, but we love it. Now Blade Runner 2049 is coming out, and it's just in the Hollywood glut of, we're going to remake everything that's old, the stuff that sold a few years ago, we're going to remake it, we're going to make a sequel to it, and people are going to buy it. And that's what I'm kind of afraid of with this new Blade Runner movie, Blade Runner 2049. Today, September 26th, a whole bunch of early reviews have come out from people who got to preview the movie before its release, and they've all said it's great. Of course they did, because you can't sell a movie unless the critics say it's great. I'm still worried. I'm still concerned. I don't know that it's going to be a good movie. From the previews that I've seen, okay, it's cool. Yeah, Harrison Ford's still in it. He's still alive. He's in this new movie 30 years later. He didn't even like this. Harrison Ford didn't even like this movie to begin with. He bitched about this movie pretty much from the get-go. He said, I believe the quote is from Harrison Ford, "I play a detective who does no detecting." He hates this movie just as much as he hates his role as Han Solo in the Star Wars movies. But yet, people in the studios threw money at him and said, come back. And he was like, okay, for that money, I'll come back. I'll reprise my role in this movie that I've said I've hated for 30 years. I'll come back and do it because the dollars are right, which stinks in its own right. But my hope is that this movie actually doesn't stink, that it's actually good. I am very concerned with it being good. Despite the early reviews, despite the trailers haven't really done much for me. I have a bad feeling about this movie. But I'm hoping that it's good. It isn't Ridley Scott doing it. It's Denis Villeneuve. And he hasn't really done much besides this. I feel like maybe he's done one or two other movies. I'm not sure. I don't know much about him. But Ridley Scott picked him because Ridley Scott is producing this Blade Runner sequel. He's producing it. So he's chosen this director to take over the Blade Runner franchise, because now it's a franchise, which sucks, but it is what it is. That's today's cinema. That's Hollywood today. Everybody who's seen it early is saying it's good. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping it lives up to the original movie, but I'm really doubting it. We'll see. It comes out October 6th, and hopefully it lives up to the original. The original is great, even though I can't really describe why it's great. It's great. And if the new movie stinks, it'll be one more in a glut of Hollywood remakes and sequels, money grabs that stink. Whatever. Anyway, I used to have the Blade Runner briefcase on Blu-ray. I sold it because I was out of money. I wish I still had it. But I'm a big Blade Runner fan, and I really hope that this new movie, Blade Runner 2049, doesn't suck. Anyway, I'll come back after I've watched it and let you know what I think. And tell me what you think. See you later, YouTube. Bye-bye.